invited Paul Salcone of North Point Bank to come on today and talk about a couple of things this segment. Number one, I want to jump into that. And then number two, we're going to pick his brain on the current market. The reason why I want to jump into this and talk about this is because of maybe the misconception about what a real estate professional does, our responsibilities, our liabilities, sometimes the value that we bring to the table, right? And I'm like you, right? Like I'm a seasoned professional. I've been doing this you've been doing it, I think, longer than I have, but I'm 12 plus years into this, over 60,000 hours because I work 100 hours a week. So there's not a lot of situations that I haven't seen. And there's always going to be new stuff that comes up, right? But there's not a lot of situations that I haven't seen. And I know one thing is consistent in real estate. You know what that is, Paul?
What is it?
Inconsistency. There's always the only consistent thing in real estate is inconsistency. The market's up, the market's down. The neighborhood's good, the neighborhood's not, like as far as pricing goes, right? So all of this stuff is happening. Laws are changing, costs are changing. Our approach to marketing changes. The only consistency is inconsistency in this profession. Paul, I'm curious on your take. I'm curious on your take on the misconceptions that the public may have, what your thoughts are on this. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, in our professions, we're really never off the clock, so to speak. I mean, you're working if you're really engaged and you have the clientele in the business, you're working 24/7 in some capacity. We all know that. Now, being on vacation, sometimes it's a balance. I mean, obviously, you talked about last week. I was, but there are certain things that are time sensitive, and there are other things that you can get back to. When you have more free time. But I know in our industry, you want to put an offer in. You have to be, and anyone listening to this call, I mean, you have to be on your toes. If someone calls you, hey, I have a client who loved the open house, really wants to put an offer in, you might already pre-approve them, but they need an updated letter or they need something changed. You have to be able to do it or have someone by your side, a real competent assistant or another colleague that can help. Because if you wait 24, 48 hours, guess what? That house is under contract. You have no chance. And your client, as much as you're away and they should respect that, which they usually do, they might not be happy if the house that they really wanted, they couldn't put an offer in because of something that was beyond their control.
That's right. I mean, so I look at it like this, right? Like in real estate, you could be working with a seller client, like a listing for like 2 years, sometimes buyers too, like 2, 3 years. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, we're ready to go. And you can't be like, oh, I'm going on vacation tomorrow. I can't handle this.
Of
You've
course not.
spent the past 110 weeks of your life or more working on getting this business, on helping, on assisting this person to get their home ready, to start them rock and rolling, to put a plan, set a plan into place, set pricing, set the marketing. The stage is already set. Okay. They're ready to start the show and you're going to pull the plug. You can't. And now, like this person, and it goes deeper than that, right? So, like our consumers, our listeners, our people, they trust us to be there for them, kind of like a divorce attorney or a therapist or so, right? Like the profession, if it was not so essential, okay, it wouldn't be such a big deal to just leave where nobody misses you. Paul, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, as we're advancing in our careers and advancing in our years, we also don't want to miss out as professionals in what gets us ticking and what gets us motivated and what keeps us together. And we're also humans. So if there is any advice that I could give any realtors out there or loan officers or anybody, is to make sure you have systems in place and to make sure that you have people who are competent and professional that can handle your clients where your clients don't even notice you're gone.